Hello, everybody. You are tuned in to another edition of our No Time for Talk, Just Time for Action podcast. I got a special guest in the building today to help us maybe understand a better resource for veterans to get a job. So without further ado, I will introduce Cosme.
That is correct. That's perfect.
Go ahead, sir. If you could tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you are, and kind of your background and what we got here today.
Sure thing. Thank you, Marcus. Glad to see you again. Thank you for doing what you do.
Absolutely.
This is very important. That's why I was so excited when I was told about you and your program and what you do now as a police officer and what you did as a veteran.
Absolutely.
I am also a veteran, and I also have a lot of experience in law enforcement. I was a police officer as well, so we have quite a bit in common. What I do, my official title is Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialist, which means I help veterans who have significant barriers to employment. The name suggests disabled, but that's not necessarily all of it. I work through the state of Arizona, but with a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor. Now, the Department of Labor figured out back in the Vietnam era that veterans from that era were being treated pretty poorly and weren't getting all the services they needed. And that's what initiated this to this day. Strangely enough, they're just now getting recognition through our program, and they now are considered a veteran with significant barrier to employment just from being a veteran in that era, in the Vietnam era, which ended, according to our files and in our form, it says 1974, I think, or 75, May of 1975, according to the form. And that is the form that we use daily. And it's called the VPOS for short. It's the ESA 1348A. All staff members in employment services through the state of Arizona, including all DVOPs. That's what I consider myself, a DVOP. We all have access to this form. Now, what this form does is any client coming into our state offices looking for employment services, unemployment insurance assistance, anything. If they identify themselves as a veteran, and they should identify themselves if they have not been asked, if they are a veteran, someone should ask them initially, are you a veteran? Welcome to our building and our services. That initiates the use of the VPOS form, the Veterans Priority Service form. So what that form determines is whether the client is a veteran or an eligible spouse. An eligible spouse could be a spouse of a veteran who's 100% disabled, and they are caregivers for that veteran. Now, the form, once it's completed, according to the questions, it may determine whether or not they receive my services, which is more intense, hence the name intensive services. I give intensive services to veterans who qualify and to the spouses. One of the things not listed on the form is if a veteran is fleeing domestic violence, they automatically qualify for my one-on-one services.
Awesome.
And those services are mainly through employment services, which means they would be registered through the Arizona Job Connection System under employment services. We are not unemployment, we are not food stamps, and so on. But at our one-stop, we can assist them with connecting them to all those services through the Arizona Job Connection. It's kind of convoluted, but once the forms are filled out properly and the assistance they want and get registered in our system, it does speed things up because our services at the One Stop offer WIOA program, dislocated worker, youth, adult, vocational rehabilitation through the state of Arizona, and so much more. Now, if a veteran qualifies for my services, it's going to be intense, and I offer counseling. It's going to be one-on-one counseling I help with the resume, job searching, job referrals, and it's long-term. Even after the veteran finds a job, we'll stay in contact to make sure the veteran doesn't need more, or the spouse of a veteran that's eligible. And that is the difference. But all veterans and all spouses of veterans should be identifying themselves as a veteran or a spouse, and they should be asked. What the priority of service form does, it identifies those individuals to get priority of service in our offices. That means they go first. They get to go ahead of the line for any services in the state of Arizona in our offices. To some, it doesn't seem fair, but that's the least we can do for our veterans who volunteer to put their lives on the line and sometimes come back injured in different ways, and spouses who care for them.
So
Now,
does that include domestic as well, or?
yes, automatically a veteran fleeing domestic violence will go right to me. I'm working virtually, but if they go to an office, which I try to dissuade, because it's faster and it's a lot more convenient for them, so they don't have to travel, to contact me with my direct number, and that's at the office. Calling me on the phone, we automatically, immediately start working, filling out the VPOS. I do it for them. We do it together and make the determination. We register them. I register them. Keep saying we, but we are a team, and get them the help we can. I try to do as much as I can on the phone with that veteran or that spouse. So I always tell the public and anyone I talk to that be prepared to answer some questions. It may take a bit of time, but I hate to lose them after the first call, because life happens and I don't always get to recontact them. And that's one of the things the form does have that I've added. If they end up going to the office, I have given this form to the employment services staff. And on there, I've asked to include, I've gotten permission to modify the form a bit. I ask for an email and a good phone number. So if they do go to the office or I miss them, I will have that information to contact immediately. In fact, while we're sitting here, I got an email from a scan from one of our employment services employees at the office now, and they just saw a veteran who stepped in, and she sent me the VPOS, and I'm going to contact him as soon as we're done. It works that fast.
So do we send this form directly to the office, or can it go to you? Where would somebody filling out this form email it to, or take it to?
Right. So if they go to the office, they will talk to someone in person, and they will be helped to fill out the form. The form is then reviewed to make sure the information is there, to determine whether or not they go to me. And if all goes well, the form is uploaded into that person's file. And if it's not, the file isn't built in our system yet, and they do qualify, it's actually faster, like the form I received recently, for the employment services staff member to just send it to me. And that's what they did. And I will go from there, so I can contact the person. So if there is a paper form, it's uploaded, sent to me. If they qualify for my services, if not, they upload it. They will assist that veteran or that eligible spouse. Anyone coming in that's identified as a veteran, even if they qualify for my services, or a spouse, or someone feeling domestic violence as a veteran, and I am not available, that does not mean they have to wait till I am back or be reached by me. They shall receive services from employment services staff then and there.
Okay.
Contact with me can be done later, but they should not walk away without getting services and anything they need.
Okay.
And
How
they
many,
get the priority if they're.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. How many offices
go ahead.
are there to walk in and request services?
We have, because of the pandemic, we have a few less offices, but many are still opening. We have offices all over the state of Arizona: Tucson, Phoenix, you name it, there will be an office somewhere. And we are trying to do everything virtually, so that's why we recommend doing it virtually, so you don't have to travel, so the veteran doesn't have to travel. But if they wish to see someone in person, there are offices, and they are listed on the internet site for the Arizona Job Connection, or the Arizona DES, Department of Economic Security Employment Services. There on that site, there are so many links to other services. As in ours, the Arizona Job Connection system does have service links at the bottom of the page and throughout the whole system for building resumes, doing job searches, resume searches if you're an employer, and so on. There is a lot there. Now, here in Pinal County, I am the only DevOps for Pinal County, which encompasses, as you know, it's pretty wide, all the way to Globe, Superior, San Manuel, and then all the way over here to the reservations, and I cover those as well.
Awesome.
But that's why I'm here in front of the computer. I'm here daily with my headphones on, and I see the calls coming in. So if calls come in, I miss them because I went to the bathroom or whatever. The system does record the message, gives me the date, the time, and the phone number, so nothing is lost, and I will get back to the client as soon as I can.
So it's a very quick process. When someone comes into the office, they submit this form, whether it's going to you or not, someone should be contacting them to help them out with services.
Yes, sir. Then and there.
Awesome.
And if it's a written paper form, VPOS or Veterans Priority Service form that I just received, they will upload it or do whatever they needed to, like they did. Now they sent it to me, but they will destroy the form so that information is not seen by anyone else. From there,
awesome.
everything else is electronically done. I can transfer the information to, excuse me, some of our partners at the One Stop, the ones I mentioned, and the veteran can actually receive services from all of us at once. So if they need my intensive services to get them job ready, that's what I do, and help them find some jobs as well. They can be in part of my program, but still be receiving services for training through other programs, trying to find money for schooling, transportation, and so on.
Awesome.
That's why they call it a one-stop. We try to give them everything we can. And of course, the veterans go first, priority service.
Awesome. Well, this sounds like a definitely an excellent program. Sounds like you guys are very immediate when somebody or a veteran walks in to get assistance. Sounds like whether it's, just through the office or they're getting intensive services through you, it's very quick. Sounds like you're on the phone right now and you're seeing the forms come in. So this is a very, very, good program. I would encourage any veteran seeking, job assistance to definitely fill out this form. I will definitely link this in the description along with, locations of offices where you can turn in these forms, and hey, you need a job or those intensive services, help us out there, right?
Correct. And we use services from anyone, just like you and your program. Excuse me, I love that you contacted me, or I contacted you, whatever, so that you are going to be used. Now you're part of my list and a contact for those veterans. I try to keep contact with local food banks, counselors, suicide prevention programs, you name anything the veteran needs. Even if the veteran wants to talk to me, and I've had many of these veterans who are struggling physically and or mentally with post-traumatic stress, they can call me. We can just talk as veteran to veteran, human to human, and I will listen. So we want to prevent suicide. Suicide is a big deal for veterans today. As you know, we lose 22 to 23 veterans every day to suicide in the United States, and that's horrendous. So people like you and I are here. We have a different mindset. And I know the public doesn't always understand that there's a different way of thinking and camaraderie that only veterans have. And that's why the DVOP program works, because we can connect and maybe save a life. And at the very least, get them job ready, get them the job of their dreams, and go from there. And that's ultimately the goal, is to keep them going into the workforce so they can take care of themselves and their families. And then the rest just falls apart. Yeah, I mean, falls away. The stress is like, okay, that's less.
That is awesome. Awesome. And more people out there willing to, have an ear, have the phone lines, communications open. Just like you said, veteran suicide is a real thing. There are veterans out there struggling. And it's all about giving a hand up, not a handout. And you definitely understand that. So I'm definitely glad that I was able to meet and talk with you. And this is a great program. And I'm gonna do whatever I can to share it with the people and the veterans out there that I come across. Is there anything that we're missing? Anything that you want to share, or anything else before we close it up here?
Yes. I don't work for the VA for the Veterans Affairs, but we do have programs through our system to where we do have a DVOP, like me, an agent, to work with the VA through vocational rehabilitation. They're in the Phoenix or Mesa area. So that is available for Chapter 31 veterans. And they can go to college and so on, use the bill, whatever. The other thing that I use every day, in fact, I talked to my counselor yesterday, is the Arizona Department of Veteran Services. And I know you've spoken to Commander Wright, if we call her. She's still a commander.
Yes.
Her people work for the state of Arizona. They are not VA people either. So they are not limited by whatever they rule, but they know their business. They help veterans file claims. I am a recipient of that help, and they are fantastic. And I can connect them, my veterans, or with those ACDVS, we call them, personnel, to help them file a claim through the VA to get benefits, to get compensation for their injuries and ailments that were incurred while in the military. And it's very successful. So it helps the veterans get money coming in that's well deserved, and it helps take that stress off of their everyday lives. So again, it's all leads to reducing the suicide rate, because they don't have to stress so much about money coming in and taking care of their family or themselves. They are the biggest proponent that I use. And the other thing is, excuse me, I recommend that all veterans use the Arizona Job Connection system or their wives or friends. Excuse me, sorry. What happens is, in our system, the Arizona Job Connection system, once in there, the resume is built, all the information is asked through demographics and so on. The employers nationwide are looking at our system. So these employers are in here looking for resumes to match their needs. If the resume matches, that the Arizona Job Connection system will notify the client by email. That's why I always ask for an email immediately. 1 o'clock in the morning is pretty early. And if someone's up that early, they will receive an email stating your resume has matched these 3 jobs. And if they are interested, they simply click on the number that's on the job order number, and that will take them right to the location to apply or build an account. There's no searching, there's no, it's that efficient, and it works for you all day long, all night long, every day. So and then the real kicker is, if a client finds a job like that, or they do a job search on their own, which I do teach them to do, there is a job order number on there. If they send me an email, excuse me, with that job order number on there, I look that same position up, and we, employment services staff, can give a referral to that job. So an email is sent to the employer and to the client stating to the employer, it's a pre-written form saying, it introduces me and introduces the client, stating that I have reviewed their resume and they do qualify to apply for your company. And it happens very quickly. In fact, I had a client a few months ago, I'm still working with her. As soon as I got off the phone, within an hour, I got a call from an employer in California asking for the phone number, because we had sent a referral to this employer in California because she wanted to work virtually. And she wanted the phone number for the client to call her right then and there to do an interview right over the phone to hire her. So that's all through AJC, that we call it for short, Arizona Job Connection System. And that's not just for veterans, that's for anyone. That's the best way to go. It's a search engine that's nationwide, and it really does work, and we can give the referral. And it's all free.
Awesome. Awesome. And you guys are doing great work. I definitely appreciate what you all are doing for veterans. Obviously, if you all veterans out there, need some help, fill out the form. Fill out the form, take it in office. Sounds like you can get help right then and there immediately. Definitely, I will link to everything in the description that this gentleman just said, so you have all the resources available to you. And hopefully this helps veterans in need. Hopefully this helps cut down on veteran suicide. And then hopefully we just keep moving forward and bringing those veteran suicide numbers down, bringing the homeless population numbers down, everything that we can do to support our veterans. Sir?
Right. And my direct line is 520-209-4451. That comes right to my computer where I'm at now, and I see it and I can hear it and so on. I can still be reached if someone goes through the internet and finds the Arizona at Work Pinal County website. It's kind of a roundabout way, but eventually will get to me. But that's why I'm giving you the number now, 520-209-4451, so I can be reached directly. So there's no delay.
Will I be able to list your email, sir?
Yes, sure will. cvelazquezazdes.gov.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate you talking to me. Everybody, there you have it. Great resource. If you like what we're doing here, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Like I said, it's only going to help veterans in need, whether cutting down on suicide, homelessness, or just improving their quality of life. So, sir, I thank you, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, all. Till next time, I will see you all.